So, social justice warriors. They were a thing to critique back in 2012, at least to justly critique back in 2012, because back then they were actually trying to change an industry. Now, there were some that just reviewed video games and movies from the angle of feminist theory, and there's no problem with that, in my opinion, because, other people from different professions also do that. Neil deGrasse Tyson reviews science fiction movies on if they are scientifically accurate or not. He, talked about the physics of Interstellar and why it's, for the most part, an accurate movie, scientifically. There are doctors and lawyers that do the same thing. Is My Cousin Vinny accurate to law? And for the most part, it is. Is Doctor Strange accurate to medicine? Kind of, in a few places. Right? And so I have no problem with somebody like, say, Anita Sarkeesian saying, okay, we're going to review this movie from the critique of, is it feminist enough? Right? Fine, you go ahead and do that. My problem, which is everybody else's problem, is that they were trying to actually, actively change an industry, actively change the sort of, how movies are allowed to be made, how games are allowed to be made, instead of just, getting into the industry and making movies themselves in the way that they think they should be made. Right? And so back then, that was a just criticism, right? Instead of trying to make their own product and put it on the market, they were trying to tell other people how to make a product. But now, in 2019, they are making their own products and putting them onto the market. Captain Marvel made $900 million. Right? And that's sort of a feministy type of movie. And they didn't, they weren't social justice warriors forcing an industry to change. They were social justice warriors getting into the industry and making a product. And apparently the market likes it. The free market likes it. The numbers speak for themselves. The numbers don't lie. And now, it is the anti-social justice warriors, the ones that originally were critiquing the feminist critiques, and that were complaining that, the feminists were trying to interject themselves into the industry by simply shaming them. Well, now that they are in the industry making their own movies, the Anti-SJWs are the ones that are acting exactly like the social justice warriors, complaining that movies are being made in ways that they don't like. Instead of, making a movie that they like, going into the industry themselves the same way the social justice warriors did, and making movies the way they like. I mean, Michael Bay movies are still around. You can watch all those Transformer movies where the women are basically just in unrealistic clothing for a scenario like that. Yet, for whatever reason, having a few Michael Bay movies around isn't enough for them. They want every movie to be like that. Now, unlike the social justice warriors, however, these guys are only complaining about it. They're not trying to put their ideologies into public classrooms. They're not going to the United Nations complaining that people are complaining about them, harassing them online or whatever. And, maybe threats are bad. Well, threats are definitely bad. But all the other quote-unquote harassment they got, including insults, that comes with the territory of simply being a public figure. Once you interject yourself into the public forum, you have to open yourself to criticism. So that is the difference between the social justice warriors of 2012 and the anti-social justice warriors of 2019. The social justice warriors of 2012 are actually trying to tell industries what kind of movies and games they were allowed to make, while also complaining about them. Whereas in 2019, the anti-social justice warriors are simply complaining about them, but they're not telling any kind of industry what they should and shouldn't be making. They're just complaining that they're making them this way. They're not trying to put their views into public classrooms and all of this and other type of shit like that. So there is a difference in regard to how they're going about their views, but with regards to complaining about movies, they are being exactly the same. It's just that their approach to try to change it is different. So, those are my thoughts, because I know the Cult of Dusty has done some videos like this where he's outlining a few anti-social justice warriors that are basically making Anita Sarkeesian type of videos, critiquing movies from a right-wing social perspective, whereas Anita Sarkeesian was critiquing movies from a feminist perspective. But then again, the anti-SJWs aren't the ones going to the UN because people are harassing them online. So that is the difference. Peace, I guess. If you like this video, comment, like, subscribe. If you hate this video, dislike, leave a hateful comment, maybe unsubscribe, I don't know. If you feel like supporting my channel, buy a shirt from Teespring, it's in the description below. And peace.